What's up, Electroheads? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name is Ailish and I am an electric bike reviewer, and today I have two very lovely electric bikes from a brand called A-Spadz. Now, they have established themselves in 2019, taking the markets of South America, the US and also Asia, and now in 2025 they are entering the European market. So they have two different series available for you to buy. There's the Qreate, which is an all-terrain cafe cruiser vibe, and then we have the Qreate Series, two electric bikes that I have with me today, which are a couple of lovely city commuters. So if you want to find out more about these two, we're going to be doing a deep dive today. I'm going to be doing some ride tests, range tests, hill tests. So if that sounds good, then stick around. But first, let's kick things off with the spec.
Let me introduce you to the two bikes I have today. We have the Qreate City Air, formed to be a trusty workhorse to get you from A to B, and then for a little extra you can buy the Qreate City Pro, which has a bit more range, a more sophisticated sensor, and a few more upgrades, which I'll go into now. The Qreate Series is recognisable for its step-through design, which makes it friendly to all riders, including those who have trouble kicking their leg over a frame or who want to have a bit more flexibility with their wardrobe. Choose from a range of lovely pastel colours to match your look, with paintwork by YS Liquid Paint that uses triple spray to keep the colour vibrant. The bikes also have anti-rust materials. Even the screws are Dacrymet treated, so it's passed a rigorous salt spray test. The City Air comes with a 486 watt-hour removable battery, which claims can give you up to 90 kilometers of range, whereas the Pro has a slightly larger 540 watt-hour battery delivering up to 100 kilometers of range. Both come with a 250 watt rear hub motor delivering a max assist speed of 15.5 miles per hour in line with EU regulations, but the difference in power delivery comes with the sensor. The Air has a cadence sensor for an on-off response, whereas the Pro comes with a torque sensor for a more natural feel of assist. Both have their pros and cons, which I'll go into later. The Air and the Pro come with front suspension to help soften the blow of potholes and uneven terrain, as well as hydraulic brakes, and can both take a max load of 150 kilograms, which is above and beyond the usual 120 kilograms. They're not the lightest e-bikes at 24.3 kilograms, but for their use case, they're not designed for being carried up and down stairs, more so to be a robust city commuter. Both come with the same size wheels and puncture-proof tyres for good traction and stability, a chain drive and 7 gears to help you get the perfect cadence for whatever type of terrain you meet. The bikes are also kitted out with the essentials such as a bell, front and rear lights, and a rear rack to help you with overspill cargo, plus a smart TFT display. Recommended rider height is between 155 to 200 centimeters.
A-Spadz have been very kind enough to do a giveaway with our subscribers. So if you're subscribed to the channel, then you could be one of 3 to win a €100 voucher. But if you comment A-Spadz in the comment section below, you could double your chances and win either a €300 voucher or a €500 voucher. So you could be getting these for dirt cheap. Thanks, A-Spadz. Before we get into riding, I just want to show you some really cool features with the Qreate series. Now, the first one I want to show you is the NFC entry. So I've set up a password, which you can put in the password and then you're able to get into your bike. Or if you use the NFC card, which comes with the bike, you can just tap on the screen and you've got entry into your bike. This is one of a few features which makes it a nice deterrent to any thieves, because if they can't get into your bike, they can't get that motor running, it's a bit of a dead weight. And speaking of which, you can also fit an air tag into the bell. All you need to do is unscrew it from the base and you're able to slot it in, so thieves are none the wiser. So should the most awful thing happen and your bike does get taken, at least you can keep track of it. The standout feature for me with the Qreate series with these bikes is the lighting system. So first of all, you have a front light which has a very powerful 30 lux, which means that you're able to see, according to A-Spadz, up to 30 meters ahead. Now, I haven't actually been able to test this because London light pollution, but I have noticed this when I've been riding around at night and the light has been reflecting off of signs like down the road. So there's definitely some power to this. There's also a really nice halo lighting around the front of the bike as well, so you can see 3 meters ahead. So you've got some good visibility of the roads or the paths that you're on right in front of you. And the rear light has a couple of modes as well. There's riding mode, but also there's a brake mode as well to let people know when you are stopping. And apparently you can be seen to up to 100 meters from behind. But my absolute favorite feature of the lighting system is right here in the removable battery. You can see that you can switch these lights on so you can be glowing at night, so you are not going to be missed. And what you can do is, if I unlock the battery, if you press and hold on this button right here, even whilst the battery is removed, you're able to get the lights turn on, which is great. And I think that's a lovely feature for, say, maybe you've gone camping, you've got the bike and you need a bit of extra lighting. This is great. And if you want to turn on the lights whilst the battery is in the bike, then all you need to do is go into the display, press the power button, and then it turns this on. This next feature is perfect for commuter bikes, and this is the chain guard here. So not only does this help protect the chain from weather conditions, it can help the chain last a bit longer, but also it's great if you want to be wearing a more variety of outfits. So for example, I'm able to wear these like much looser trousers today, which I'm not generally able to wear when I'm cycling because this would be eaten up by a chain, but that chain guard means that I'm able to do that. Also, if you want to be wearing skirts, then they're going to be protected. So this is great if you're somebody that wants to have a bit more variety with your outfits and a bit more flexibility in that sense to get to the office. And finally, what every commuter rider is probably going to need at some point is a rear rack. So this comes included with the Qreate Series. You can get up to 25 kilograms on the back here. You can also purchase as an extra a front rack and net bag as well to keep things locked up nice and safely at the front. You can also get pannier bags to fit securely on the back here, so your cargo is sorted whether you prefer it on the back or the front. Right, I think that's enough chat about the features of the bike. Let's go into the riding section. The Air has been really lovely to ride. I first want to talk about the power of this bike because it's really great. It gets you up to 15.5 miles per hour pretty damn quickly. Now there is a difference in the delivery of power of the Air compared to the Pro. So the Air here has a cadence sensor. The cadence sensor is a less sophisticated system. Basically what it does is it will sense when you start to move your feet, turn the pedals, and it tells the motor, okay, wake up, let's go. And what then happens is depending on the level of assist you're in, from level 1 to 5, it will kind of get you up to a certain speed. So at the moment I'm in level 1 assist, and I can feel the assist helping me up to about, if I'm being super gentle with the pedaling, about, it says about 17 kilometers an hour. We'll put the miles per hour up on screen because I can't convert that right now. And then as I go up to level 2 assist, there's a little bit more extra power, and it's taking me up to about, I'd say, about 18.5 kilometers an hour. Level 3 assist, again, the assist goes up even more, and I can even see on the screen that the feedback of the power is on the screen at the bottom here, which is quite cool. And that's helping me up to about 19 kilometers an hour. Level 4 assist, it boosts in again. Now this is where I need to change my gears, and that's helping me up quite nicely to, I would say, about 22.5 kilometers an hour. And then we have level 5 assist, which, oh, that assist is just beautiful. It's just boosting me along. I feel like I'm gliding, and I'm very comfortably at 25.5 kilometers an hour, 15.5 miles per hour at that top speed that you can assist me to with barely putting any pressure or power through my legs. There's also a way that you can change the power mode of the bike. If you go into the settings and you go into general, if you go onto the second page, you'll see that there's ride mode. And if you click into that, I'm actually going to put it into power, but there are 3 modes available. Normal, which I've been riding, power, and then we have eco, but let's go for power. Wow, and now you can see the screen has turned red because we're in power mode. Level 5 assist. Oh. Wow. Wow, that assist is unbelievable. Oh my God. That goes up to 15.5 miles per hour in a jiffy. I mean, that is gonna eat up a bit more of your battery, I will say, if you're riding in power mode. But this is absolutely for people who just don't want to be doing much work. This is punchy. Okay, I want to change it to eco mode now. Level 5 assist, the screen's now got a nice green color. I mean, that's still got power to it. I have to say, with these bikes, the way that they've set it up, particularly when you're in level 5 assist, it's super powerful. which is really easy to use. This is a low effort e-bike if you want it to be. The saddle's very comfy. The handlebars have these nice ergo presses here on the side. So it just means that you're not getting too much pressure or vibrations through your hands and your wrists. The riding position it's not fully upright. I could probably change that by adjusting the handlebars here. You can tilt that up, of course, but I've gone for a slightly more angled position because that's just what I've gone for. It's super comfy, it's super easy to get on thanks to that step-through frame, and I feel nice and balanced and stable with these larger wheels as well. So this is definitely an electric bike for somebody who just kind of wants that simplicity and comfort. Get it in level 5, it will carry you all the way. But now let me just ride with no assist at all to show you how it is, because this isn't a particularly light bike. Whew. And you can see the difference there when I take off. Sure, got to put some weight through the legs, got to get it up to speed, but drop a few gears down in not too much time at all. I'm able to get this up to, well, I'm riding at about 15.5 kilometers an hour, and I can feel the weight of my bike. I am going up a slight incline, by the way. I wouldn't be able to actually go much faster. If I was on a straight, I probably could, but it's good to know that in the worst event that you run out of battery, you are able to pedal this thing back home. If you have lots of hills, it could be a struggle.
When I switch to the Pro, you can feel a difference in the assist. The torque sensor means that you can be set to level 2 assist, and the power is there due to the sensor reading my pressure as I push down on the pedal, rather than just realizing that the pedal is moving. So I've been riding this bike in level 2 or 3 a lot of the time when I'm on the flats. One thing I will say though is for these bikes, when I'm at top speed, I would love to have an 8th gear for a bit more tension, but it's certainly not a be-all end-all. Between the Air and the Pro, the sensor is really the key noticeable difference between the two, despite also a slight difference in range. And the different sensor can mean for a different feel when it comes to the hills.
It's time for the hill test, and A-Spadz claim that their bikes can handle 15-degree inclines. Don't mind my helmet. This is the Unit 1 Neon, and it was just connecting with my lovely indicators here. If you guys would like to see a full review on the Unit 1 helmets, then click the link above. Anyway, 15-degree inclines are easy apparently for these bikes. So I'm here in Wimbledon at a lovely 10-degree incline, which can feel pretty steep when you're on an analog bike. Now I'm going to be riding in normal mode. Remember, there's eco, normal and power, and I'm going to put it in level 5 assist, and let's see how it does. I've got a clear run. Let's go. Just takes a moment for the power to kick in, and we're off. Riding right up to 25.5 kilometers an hour. It's eating it up right now. It's not particularly steep, I will say. As we climb, it's going to be getting steeper and steeper. Here we go. The motor's starting to say, whoa, hold on a sec. What is this? And I'm riding at 18 kilometers an hour now. This is a pretty steep bit. Okay, legs are having to work. Ooh. It's a shame I did leg day today. 15.8 kilometers an hour, 16 kilometers an hour. Final stretch. And we're getting to the top of the hill, and we are on the flat. Okay, so I would say it can certainly do 10 degrees. It's just that you will have to put some work in, but electric bikes aren't about taking all of the power for you. It's about assisting you, and I certainly felt assisted. And I really feel like the cadence sensor did a wonderful job in knowing to keep giving me power. As I kept pedaling, it kept delivering the max amount of assist that it could give.
I also gave the hill a go in power mode, and in all honesty, it didn't feel any different. The motor may have kicked in just a nanosecond quicker, but I personally would just leave the bike in normal mode.
So I'm starting off in level 5 assist, and the speed kicks up so quickly, and you can hear the motor working. And it is eating up what is, a slight incline at the moment. But as I continue, it gets steeper and steeper. The motor is working. I'm going to drop down to maybe level 2. Level 2? Gear 2. This is pretty much the steepest bit of the hill now. We're about 15.5 kilometers an hour. I can definitely start to feel bike's weight through my legs a bit. My breath is picking up. The legs are working. It's certainly still a bit of a workout on level 5 assist, getting to the top. Final little push now. Whew. Okay, so for anyone that says riding an electric bike is cheating, they are wrong. So you see, the thing with cadence and torque sensors is it gives you a different kind of assist. So a cadence sensor is very on-off. Once you start to pedal, it tells the sensor to tell the motor to wake up and go. And different levels of assist will basically be the amount of speed that you're going to get. But when it comes to a torque sensor, which is a much more sophisticated setup, what happens is when you start to pedal, the torque sensor obviously recognizes that you're pedaling and tells the motor to wake up, but it will then also be able to sense how much pressure you're putting down on the pedal, which in turn tells the motor how much assist to give you. Now, this can actually be a little bit more of a hindrance on the hills, because as you want to get up the hill as quickly and easy as possible, what you're going to need to do is actually put down more pressure through your legs to be able to get more assist from the motor. But with a cadence sensor, as you have seen, you just start to pedal and go, and the motor just works for you. There's no extra kind of pressure that you need to be putting down to get more assist. It just knows that you're on level 5 and it goes.
Let's move on to real world range, and I've been very pleasantly surprised by the results. A-Spadz claims a range of 90 kilometers with the Air and 100 kilometers with the Pro. Bearing in mind, I've been riding in sub 10 degrees Celsius weather with my rider weight of 65 kilograms, and the Air has given me 70 kilometers range, whilst the Pro gave me 80. So the claims are not that far off at all, which is great to see. And this is riding on level 5 assist with the Air and more so level 2 or 3 with the Pro, and using 4 or 5 when there's been some inclines.
Overall, I think the Qreate Series are a lovely couple of bikes for the commuter's needs, whether you need that extra cargo, spillover on the back, whether you just want a nice bit of power to get you to your destination so you're not sweating, if you want that comfort. I mean, they offer all of it. It's super functional, super comfy, and it actually comes in at a pretty decent price as well. So guys, I want to hear from you now. Which of these bikes would you go for? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to comment A-Spadz for your chance to win in the giveaway. And if you haven't already subscribed, then you should definitely do that, because you are definitely Electroheads if you made it this far, and I'll see you for the next one.